Okay, we are revisiting my sketchbook, my very first sketchbook that I've only done one page in so far. And I do have some new opinions about this sketchbook. But here's my first painting I did on September 28th, a week ago. And I did have a couple people ask questions if it bleeds through on the back, and it doesn't. You can see it does warp. Again, I paid $5 for this, so you get what you pay for. I do not like the seam on every other page. It's just kind of not pleasing to the eye, I'll say. Another thing about the texture of the pages, again, this is not 100% cotton, and this might be true for all sketchbooks. I don't know. At this point, I don't have anything to compare it to. But when I turn the page here, these are both nice and textured. And then when I turn the page here, they're completely smooth. And there's that ugly seam again. But that might be true for all. It makes sense because it's watercolor paper, and on one side, and there's the seam that I like. I like seeing the stitching. But watercolor paper is textured on the front, and then on the back, it's not as textured. So that just might be every sketchbook. We will see. But I've decided this is my sketchbook. I'm not going to paint on the back of the pages. I'm only going to paint on the right side. And I don't like the length of these pages, and it's all good. It's just what I'm going to do. So today we are going to paint some birds inspired by Terry Runyon, who is so fun. And the idea behind this is you're going to paint some blobs of paint on your page, and you're going to try to be free. You're going to see I struggle with that a little bit in this video, but you're just going to put some blobs and add a couple colors, add a few colors, whatever you'd like. And then once those colors dry, you're going to see what you're left with. And then you're going to add the details. You're going to put the eyes and the beak and little hairs and all the details and the tails and feathers and whatever you'd like to do. It's just having fun. And you can see there's a cat also. And she actually says that in her course that I took that was called From Blobs to Birds, and then it all had in parentheses and cats. You can see I just wrote that down at the bottom so I would remember where I got this idea. Anyway, I suggest you follow her. She's here on YouTube and other places. Now, this guy inspired me to write a second children's book. I have not published it yet. It's not even close to being published. I've written it, the entire thing, but I want to try to illustrate it myself, and that's daunting. I don't know what I'm doing, so it just sits there. Okay, so here's my attempt at my blobs. I did better the first time when I took her course. I really was more free with it. But this one, I laid down an orange circle-ish, but I immediately thought, ooh, a robin. So then I brought in some brown, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just let them bleed together and have fun and be free. But you can see I'm not really being free. I'm adding wings. I'm doing a bird. So it's not really a blob. I'm overthinking things, and that's okay. Giving myself some grace because, again, this is my first sketchbook. This is page 2. But here I come in with some bright blue and like, come on, Carrie, let's bring in some bright colors and be free and just have fun with it. So that was my attempt with this one. And I thought, oh, he's so skinny. That'll be super funny. I was really, really overthinking everything with this. And that's okay. It is okay. It's all part of the process. So I'm going to speed these up as I'm painting in the blobs, because you're just going to do blobs. You're going to do blobs. And if you add a second color, you just do it while the first color is still wet and just let them blend together. And it just kind of makes them more fun and wonky and whimsical. Add some tails if you feel like it. You can add those later if you want, but I would just add everything while everything's wet. Let them blend together. So this little guy down here, I decided to fray the edges kind of him. He kind of looks like a blowfish, but that's okay. And adding a little fun tail and seeing what we have here. Okay, now everything's dry. I'm going to come in and add my details. And I'm truly scribbling in lines for this guy's wings, not obviously not trying to be precise. And I am going to zoom in on each of these birds and speed them up. This one I'm going to do slower just so you can see what I'm doing. Truly scribbled in the lines for the wings. You can do whatever details you want. I did a couple circles with a dot in the middle for the eyes, a little V for the beak, and then a couple little feet. I decided he's going to be off balance, so that's why his second foot is like that. That just seemed to match his little expression. And then giving him some squirrely hairs to further add to his personality. Okay, next guy. He's going to be kind of facing to the side there and either feeling smug or at peace. You can be the judge. and adding some detail in on his belly, just little lines and lines in the tail. And I decided, oh, that first bird needs lines in his tail too. I come back to him a couple times. Okay, this third one is inspired by that little bird that I told you about for my children's book. And this is where it would be nice to have like gouache or something for the white. I knew I'd have to come back with my white gel pen to go over it, but anyway, we're just going to add in the beak and some little legs and just play with it. I did some white details for the tail and the wings, and coming back in, I end up using some gray and white mixed together for the eyes, just trying to fill it in. Again, this would be nice to have another medium that is more opaque. That's okay though. I'm just playing with it, and then I'll let that dry and then add some more gel pen to it. So just trying to get those eyes nice and filled in. But while that's drying, I'm going to come in and give this guy some belly detail because he deserves it, right? How cute. How cute. And now we'll come back to our yellow friend and add in one more time just some gel pen, and then coming in with the black pen and just doing a nice little circle in there, and then the gel pen just for a reflection in the eyes. And our fourth little bird, I decided he's going to be a side view looking up, so I'm just doing the beak like that and one little dot for the eye. And I made his second leg a little shorter, indicating it's further away from us. I'm doing little V's for the wings, and then I add some dots for the belly. So cute. I did some white in the tail, but decided to come back with the black because it just stands out a little bit more. And for now, there's going to be one hair strand. And I was going to add hair for this guy too, but I figured I think this guy needs a hat because he's older and he's seen a few things and he just can't believe what he's seeing right now. Yeah, the hat definitely solidifies his personality. I don't know the red one. I don't know what I'm doing, but the blue one, I have an idea. And I'm sorry, little buddy, you are frazzled and I don't know why, but you are. So you're getting some wobbly legs and we're just going to go from there. Everything's going to be okay, though. It really is. And then for some unknown reason, I decided for his eye, I'm letting it take up like a good majority of his body. And it's going to be a really weird shape. That's okay. We're putting a little dot for the eye, kind of indicating he's looking upwards. And then as we draw in the beak, same thing. It'll just indicate he's looking up, and he's going to get a little squiggly line to just further enhance his frazzled state of mind. And why not some squiggly lines in the tail as well, right? Okay, this orange guy, we're seeing him from the backside and he's just looking straight up. So we're just going to do two little dots for his eyes, add his cute little legs, and then for the detail in his body, I'm coming in with my white gel pen and just adding in the tail and wing details. Add as few or as many details as you'd like. And then just coming over to this red one, I'm finally decided she's tired. She's a tired little bird, but she's happy. She's pretty content. She just needs to rest. And I'm giving her some eyelashes because she's fancy like that. And gonna just give her a cute little beak. And gonna just write in the letter Z a few times, just solidifying the fact that she's asleep. And the legs, yes, she is sleeping standing up. It is one of her many talents. She doesn't like to brag, but yeah. And I decided to give her this, what is that, a neckline? We'll call it a neckline. And then just some kind of random little lines for her belly. And I decided I wanted to give her some hair, but I didn't want it to be as squirrely. I think it needed to be a little more fancy. So I did this for her little hair tuft. And I love it because it kind of looks like a crown, right? She deserves that. She deserves that. And then I decided this guy also needs a little detail for his tuft, if we're calling it that. And I guess we are. And yeah, I think this suits him quite well, don't you? And not to be left out, we're going to give you a few more hairs, buddy. You deserve more than just one. You're getting 5. There you go. Okay. Looking back, I'm actually pretty happy. Now, I'm going to stamp the date on here, but I'm telling you, I add more to this painting in a little bit, so stick with me. I got my little stamp from Amazon. I thought about doing a red stamp pad, but I decided to go with black. All right, I wanted to ground each of these birds, just give them a little shadow that's just blue and purple mixed together. And I'm not paying attention like, oh, my light source is coming from the right or left. I'm just seeing each of them as their own individual little painting and just grounding them, like I said. And there you have it. I am actually really pleased with how these turned out. I wasn't feeling it as I was doing it, but I love this page. I wish I could see everything that everybody does. That would be so much fun. But if you like this, please subscribe for more videos, more sketchbook pages, and just easy and fun watercolor tutorials. I'm trying not to take anything too seriously, and I hope you do the same.